Okay. Hello, everyone. It is March 14th, so we are halfway through the month. I think there's a lot of things going on this month, so I know that with the new portion control, it is kind of confusing. So if you have any questions, or if I would love to maybe do a call with like Team Liberate and Christine and Aaron's team to kind of talk through everything. But I just got all my stuff in the mail this week, so really excited just to dig in. I think there's going to be a lot of people who are interested in it. So it's just a matter of educating yourself and trusting the process. But tonight, what I wanted to do is talk to you all about inviting. I think as a new coach, that is something that is so important. And I think oftentimes you're just a little overwhelmed with how to even start. So this is really going to take a deep dive into really like what it takes to just start sharing your story, because it's not hard. So I'm going to share my screen and there, should be able to see it. Okay, so the art of inviting. As a coach, I think we get really comfortable sharing our story, which is awesome, but we don't take the next step. So if you're new here and you're watching your first team call ever, you may not be completely familiar with the vitals, but basically what we suggest in this business and what the company gives you is basically if you follow 4 vitals every single day, you will see success. It may not come tonight, it may not come next week, it may not come in 6 months, but if you keep showing up, being consistent, people are going to start watching you. They're going to eventually come around. It's just a matter of being consistent. But with the vitals are being a product of the product and sharing your journey, inviting and connecting people, and doing personal development along with recognizing people and shouting challengers out and coaches out, anything like that. But that is why one of the vitals is inviting, because it is so vital. It is so important to our business. And I think this is a great picture. I use it in a lot of presentations because this over here is always us, and this is kind of the world. And I know a lot of you have big goals, myself included, and it really is just a matter of you getting out of this section over here and going over here, because when things start to change, when you start to see the success that you want in any area of life, it's going to come when you're uncomfortable. So what I like to tell someone who is just getting started or a new coach, you have to get comfortable with getting uncomfortable, because awesome, incredible things don't happen over here. They do happen over here. So first things first, we're just going to dive in. If you are new here, if you're a new coach, if you've been a coach for a while, a lot of you are already doing this. But if you're not, I'm going to take you a couple steps back so you understand what it means to really share your story and build your brand. Because remember, this is your business. So you are the CEO of your business. You run it however you want. You run it so it represents you. But it is super important to build your brand and share things that define you. So a couple things to consider, and I think this is so important, especially if you're new, is what you post, what you share is what you attract. So you want to make sure that you have defined like who you are, because that is what, those are like, that's the tribe, those are the kind of people that you are going to attract. So it is important to be like present and consistent and know when someone comes to like your Instagram page or your Facebook page that you love health and fitness. Like that's a big part of what we are. But the next step of that is what is your business story, and share that. Then what is your fitness story, and share that. Then what is your business story? And that's something I often have to get comfortable with sharing too, and just being more consistent with sharing is, yes, I do health and fitness. Yes, I help lots and lots of women, but why do I do what I do? Because anyone can do coaching. And if you're just kind of starting this, maybe you don't have a big business story to tell, but you always have a story to tell why you started doing that, because you fell in love with the journey and you fell in love with helping people. So I think that's so important that that comes across in your brand, and your brand often is your Instagram feed, your stories, it's on your Facebook page. That's what we mean when we talk about your brand. So what is your fitness story? What is your business story? And then what are the things that you're passionate about? So that can be like, usually I try and encourage someone to think about the 5 things that make them you. So for me, obviously I'm a mom. I'm a working mom who travels often, and I love to travel. I love coffee and cooking. I'm a boy mom too. I love what else do I love? I like farmhouse things, and I love just like being outside, being in nature, running, things like that. Um, but I have like more than 5, but I try and like, it kind of changes too, but always try and make sure that when someone scrolls, like they can tell, like they can identify the things that make you. And that's what I like to say, like, what else makes you smile? Because you're more than just a coach, but you're also, you're also building a business too. So it's important to kind of share all the things, right? So you're sharing all the things, but how, like, you've got to start getting targeted. So you've got to look and think about, how are you going to find, like, think of it as almost like a dating website or something like that. Meet your match. Because if you talk to everyone, you talk to no one. So you have to, even though like we want to be all the things, it is so important to know who you're talking to as well. So I'd love for you all to take out a journal, take out a notebook whenever you're watching this. And I want you to write down these questions, and you can start answering them now. But this is going to help you really hone in on who kind of like your audience is, who your target is. So who, like, take a notebook out right now. Who are you most excited to connect with? Like when you think about social media, when you think about who you are, who you want to be like on this journey with you, or who you'd love to like be a coach in your team, like write that out in vivid detail. Take that a next step further. What are their fears? Like, what are some of the things that they struggle with? Okay, what else do they like? And get like super detailed. Like, write all of this out, because that's going to help you construct your post. Like when you're sitting there like, I don't know what to post about, like, think about the you before Beachbody. Think about like the people that you want to join your team, and talk to them. And then when you start talking about the coaching opportunity, why would someone that is in your target audience, why would they need a side income? And then what holds them back? So I think it's just so important to think through all of these things, because that's going to help you in so many ways. One, that's going to help you create the content that's really going to speak to the audience you want. And 2, it's going to help you be just a step further relatable. So if you like scroll through my feed, like on Instagram, you'll see that oftentimes I'm talking to like the busy, tired moms, so the moms who work, who, maybe were always like athletes, but could never figure out their nutrition. So get detailed, because if you're talking to a specific audience, people are going to like have these light bulb moments, and they're going to resonate with you. And then you have to kind of think too, because if you are someone who's, starting your hand at inviting people, and I'll get to that in a minute. Maybe you're hearing no's, maybe people aren't answering, maybe, you're just getting discouraged, but you have to always think back. Did you sign up the first time you saw your coach's post or were invited? So probably a lot of you on this call, it's me. So the first time I invited you, or the first time you saw something I posted, did you just ask to join me? Probably not. You probably watched me for a really long time, or I talked to you a really long time. And that's how it is. I mean, think about anything that you do in life. Like, you don't just jump all in, unless maybe some things you would, but the most part, or most of the time, you're constantly kind of fighting off your own fears as to why you can't do it. And then finally you just are like, okay, I'm going to do it. So always kind of remember to give your audience, the people that you're wanting to join you, the people who are watching you, who are on the fence, give them grace, and know that like when you put yourself in their shoes, you weren't ready to jump in either. So then the next part is just, changing the mindset, and share things that, make you happy. So I think so many of you on this team, on Team Dwell, do an incredible job talking about, like the products and the workouts and this community and all the things that like really make you happy. And even outside of that, the things that like, define you, the 5 things that make up you. But you have to always think, especially when it comes to what we do and what we share, like our challenge groups and getting people started on this journey. Like if you're sharing it but not giving like this call to action, or telling someone how they can get what you found, then you're really sharing nothing. So I'm not saying you should always be sharing like, oh, contact me for details, but get creative and make sure, whether it's in your stories, whether it's in, a weekly post or once or twice a week, you're letting people know, like, you know what, this has worked for me. You can have this too. Here's a call to action, whether it's, send me a message or go to the link in my bio, whatever it is, like make sure you're always inviting in your messages, but also in your posts, because I can't tell you how many people have come to me and said, oh, I didn't realize like this is like a job you did, or I didn't realize you actually ran groups. Well, shame on me if that's not clear. And we've got to get you. Everyone can do better at that. And I think sometimes people are afraid that they're going to be too salesy or going to be annoying, but I trust you. No one's being annoying, and people are inspired by that, and then they realize that they need something like this too, because as you get older, as you have kids, as you get busier, you just don't have time to do a lot of the things that you used to do, and this fits in some of the lifestyles. So make sure you're always like offering a way for people to get what you have, but also share the things that held you back. This also goes back to just helping you kind of create, like, especially if you're struggling to know what to post, like think about the things, the pain points you had, the kind of roadblocks you had, the things that stopped you from ever being on a healthy journey, or the things that stopped you from ever joining your coach or me. Think about what it was. Was it money? Was it you didn't feel like you were fit enough to coach or be in a group? Was it time? You don't have time. And I'm like, there's 20 minutes. Everyone has time. But you know what I mean? Like, think these are just like on this slide right here. These are just like a handful of objections I get a lot. But use that to fuel your message. Like, what do they say? Make your mess your message. And you don't have to be mean. You don't have to be like super forward. But I think there's so many like subtle ways, direct ways to incorporate this. And then people, like, it really resonates with people. And I think oftentimes we just don't think about all the things that we're hearing sometimes, why people, are resistant to this, or reluctant to this, but use it to help you like grow your business. I find when I get truly like raw and authentic, like people are more, attracted to that. So where to start? Okay, let's say you're a new coach. How do I even start to share this journey? There's lots of ways to do this. I always, if someone doesn't have a huge social media presence, isn't on social media, or is not sure they want to be on social media this much, like I always encourage someone to go to the people that you love. If you were to open a candle shop down the street, I'm pretty sure all of your friends and family would come buy candles from you. This is no different. This is just an online business. It's not it's not makeup or something where it's really truly just kind of a sale. It is something that you're partnering with them. And, healthcare isn't a luxury. It is something that everyone needs in their life. And like being healthy. So I always encourage you, regardless if it's in real life or on social life, like go to your friends, go to your family, the coworkers, friends of friends, high school classmates. You never know someone could need this. Never write anyone off. There's coaches on our team who I would have never dreamed would need this, and they're coaching today. And especially because you already know the value, because it's something that you love so much, you just never know. And then those liking your posts and watching your stories, engaging in your polls, new followers, all of that, that is something too. Like, go to those people as well, because you never know, like, those, like, a lot of people who connect with you, they're the ones who are those are the ones who maybe are kind of interested. And then if you're like, okay, I feel like I've kind of exhausted my list, what's next? So look at, like, search hashtags of followers or accounts you enjoy. There's what I do to help kind of grow my own accounts. I will, like, let's say it's hashtag, I'll search hashtags about coffee or hashtags about tired moms, and I'll look at, like, go to their follow, like the people that follow that hashtag or who use that hashtag, and follow them. There's easy ways and simple ways to do that. I can show you how to do that in some of the trainings I have. And then also going to just simple pages of, like, brands you like or things you like, bloggers you like, and following some of those followers as well. That's going to help really find your tribe. I've had people even follow restaurants or bars they went to in college and, follow those people. And then, okay, here's kind of like the meat slide. So once you find kind of your tribe, like, how do you even start? How do you even, like, know how to connect with someone? So the way you start is what I typically do, and this again is just what I have found that has worked well for me, is anytime, I'm connecting with someone new, I'm seeing someone kind of like the slide before, watching my stories, following me, engaging on my posts, I always send them a message. It's something pretty generic, like, hey lady, thanks for following my wild health and fitness journey, mama style. Are you on a healthy journey of your own? Or if there's someone who uses stories regularly, ask genuine questions on your stories and post in their posts to start dialogue. And then the most important thing is, again, is really to feel felt found. That is, like, the best advice you can have, or I can give, and it's been given to me when making these connections. You just have to listen to get to know the person that you're wanting to know, learn their struggles, resonate, ask the questions that are easy to answer for them. What's working well for you and what's not working as much as you would like? And then resonate with that, because likely if it's someone that's kind of in your tribe, you were there too. Because again, these are, like, I can't tell you how many moms I've met who just, like, are postpartum or feel like their life is out of control because they don't make time for themselves. I get really invested emotionally because I was there once. Like, I know what it's like, and it's hard. So always find that common ground. And then from there, keep it simple, casual. Take a pain point that they just talked about and turn it into an invite. Oh my gosh, that was totally me. Never knew what to meal prep and always ended up eating out. That's really a true story. I actually run groups where I help mamas create simple meal plans, even kid friendly. Does that sound like something you would be interested in? And then from there, you just start talking about your group. And then the next slide, I'll show you a location of all this kind of like scripts and example things that I've used, that our upline has used, and that really kind of helps kind of craft your message from there. And I will say, like, when you're first getting started, you're like, someone's interested, I don't know what to do. Calm down, take a step back. You can always text me if you need, and it really will start to come naturally, because it is something you become so passionate about. And then just remember, like, I think this is something really key. Network marketing often feel like they're salesy, or they get labeled that. So, and by the way, it doesn't matter what people say. These are your bills, your income, your brand, your business. But remember, we're a solution provider, not a salesman. So you have the tools in your toolbox to change someone's life. And I mean, I say that, and you might, like, kind of roll your eyes, but it's true. Someone took a chance on me and changed my life. I have big goals for our family this year, and now I'm, like, the healthiest I've ever been. My kids are healthier, my husband's healthier, and it creates this ripple effect. So just remember, like, you're not a salesperson, you're a solution provider. You're helping women, find their happy again. And then finally, I love this. Just remember, it's less about you and more about them, because as coaches, we want to establish trust, like, really get to know our clients, because once they start with us, it doesn't stop there. Like, they're genuinely, part of, like, your family, a part of your tribe, and you are helping them hit their goals. I've had ladies who have been with me since day one, which was 2017 in September or something like that. And I love the fact that we've grown together and, they've come and gone. Some have had babies, some of, are on the postpartum journey now. And I just love that I've been able to help them in every season of life. And as in return, they've helped me so much too. So just remember, you're making yourself healthier, but you're also helping so many. And I mean, my best advice is like, what's the worst that can happen? Like, you get healthy in this whole process. Seriously, like, so great. And then this slide too is just this is just a place of like resources that I thought would be helpful just to remind you guys all where they are. So like in our, I'll show you in just a second, but I have a Google Drive on our Facebook page, and it has all kinds of like everything a new coach needs to know, more information about the packages. This is something really cool Christina created, ways to stay active, and conversation examples. So I clicked into that right there. And these are just all kinds of different scripts I have, example conversation, and it will really help you get kind of comfortable with what you are talking about. And then the other file is just a file from Team Liberate, and it's kind of the same too, but just different like scripts and presentations that have been like really helpful. And then this right here is just a like on our team or your back office. This actually has on your Team Beachbody coach account. This actually has some like really good tools in there too. So that's all I had, but hopefully that was helpful. I'll show you really quickly too. If you go to, this is our Team Dwell page. If you go to the files section, this is where I have like Team Dwell coaching files. This is what I just showed. So I have the Google Drive, and this is going to have like this example documents, and then also here's all the conversations and scripts. So that, yeah, there. And then same thing with on the Team Liberate page. The Team Liberate page, Brooke also has a similar document too. So I just want to make sure you guys knew where it was. And then real quick, I'll show you this. If you're a new coach, you already know this, but go to, this is all my new coach training. So once you get in here, you just type, 2019, it's all lowercase. And I have a whole section, all kinds of tasks and trainings. Now there's a lot on here, but some of these are really simple. Like, here's where your website is, and this is how you set up your direct deposit. This is how you send a product link to a customer. Talks about just like our calls, resources, and then it kind of gets into meatier stuff. But there's about 15 tasks, but if you haven't checked them out, I would highly encourage you to, spend a couple days, do 1 or 2 every few days, but it really kind of gives you a full picture, everything like about coaching, and if you ever need to reference it again, it's there. And then I have a lot of good bonus tools, some of the stuff that's on our Team Dwell Drive, but definitely stuff that's helpful. So hopefully that was helpful. Is someone on the call? Hello?
Oh, hey, Cal. It's Lindsay.
Oh, hey! I couldn't tell who it was.
What's that?
Not much. Let me hit stop recording.